Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with hilarious comedian Sam Tripoli of the Tinfoil Hat Podcast. Hey, Sam.
Blessed to be here.
Okay. So we're talking about people's reactions. Down in Brazil, let everybody know that the DNC rigged the primary, not a little bit, but more than you could ever imagine. If there's such a thing as 1,000% corrupt, that's what the DNC was. Okay. So now they asked the current DNC chair about it. And, well, Tom Perez only has two answers when they ever ask him a question. The one is we put values on the ballot. That's his first answer. And his second answer is we're moving forward and we will be fair. So let's see which one he picks here.
Well, we're definitely reading it now. I can't let you go, Tom, since you're with us, without asking if you've read Donna Brazil's piece about the DNC that's in Politico today. Any comment at all?
Well, hey, we're moving forward. We're building, I've been asked that question a number of times since I started. And one of my goals here as the DNC chair is to make sure that the nominating process for 2020 is a process that's totally fair and transparent for everybody. That's what we're fighting for. That's what we will do. And we're going to set the primary debate schedule well in advance of when we know who the candidates will be there. We have to make sure that everything is fair and open and everybody has a fair shake. And that's what we're going to do.
That guy danced around that question so much, I wanted to tip him $1.
Hey, Jimmy, do you like pudding?
Well, dessert is definitely something that happens after the dinner, and we are definitely moving forward. That would be my Tom Perez. Tom Perez, that is he is so good at talking around a question that he could build a moat.
He's got to cry himself to sleep at night, right?
So this is a guy who's just an empty tool. That's what I think. He's just like, what does my bidders tell me to do? I'll do it. He's got no integrity.
He had to get into this with an idealistic view, like I want to be part of the political process for good, and at some point you just sell your soul and you conform, and then you're just chasing these lies and covering, and you don't even know what lies you're covering anymore.
No kidding. His knee-jerk is to not answer a question and talk about nothing. Values, we're going to put our values on the ballot, and we got to definitely, everybody's going to have a fair. He just got rid of all the progressives on the Rules Committee, and he's saying we have to be fair going forward. This guy's a fucking liar, okay? I can't say enough bad things about Tom Perez because this is a guy who's supposed to be looking out for the people, and he's doing anything but. He's why people hate politics. You're why people hate politics, Tom. People are disgusted at you. That's why you get booed when you go to give a speech. People can't stand you. They know you're not working for them. You are the enemy of the people, Tom, and people see through it. This is what you went to college for? You're going to go teach a class at Brown University now for what? So you can tell people how to be corrupt, how to cover up for plutocrats, or how to get things done for your donors? What are you teaching people? How to have no integrity, how to sell out 100% even though you're a minority? Is that what you're going to teach people to do, Tom? Because that's all you're good for. You're a fucking waste. Sam, anything?
What I find, follow that. What I find amazing is that we literally have accepted our politicians are lying to us. We elect them, full knowing they're going to lie to us, and then when we challenge their lies, we get blowback on, oh, what are you, Fox News? What are you this?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Now, listen, if I told you boxing is corrupt, right? Boxing's corrupt. 99% of the population go 100%. And if you ask them why, they'll be like, money. It's corrupt because of money. What is a bigger sporting event than boxing? War, politics. So you just think these guys with trillions of dollars on the line are just going to be like, oh, I hope it goes our way. I really do. Let's hope the coin flip goes our way and it all works out, because if not, we're going to be out of this money. No, they're going to rig every moment of this thing so they make sure it's all in. And that's why you gotta fight back.
I'm trying to fight back with my little YouTube show.
You're doing the Lord's work, man.
So here, that's Tom Perez. He's the current chairman. Here's the co-chair. or what they call the deputy chair. This is Keith Ellison. He's the deputy chair. He has absolutely no power inside the DNC, and they gave him that position to make sure progressives shut the fuck up. And he's been Keith Ellison supported Bernie Sanders. He stuck his neck out. Keith Ellison is a progressive, they say. Keith Ellison was open to taking corporate money at the DNC, which just totally puts him out of the running, as far as I'm concerned, okay? So here's what he said. As leaders of the Democratic Party, it is our responsibility to acknowledge that millions of Americans still feel hurt and betrayed by the events of 2016 presidential primary. It's not about feeling hurt. It's not I have hurt feelings. It's that I know I was cheated out of a progressive president. That's not about having hurt feelings. Someone didn't say hi to me at a party. That's not what this is, Keith. So cut that shit out. We can't allow this idea to persist that any candidate has an inside track. Well, they do. Because the DNC must be an impartial and transparent organization that welcomes all people who share our core values of economic justice and human rights for all. Guess what? The DNC just got rid of the progressives, and you know that, Keith. They just kicked out the only Muslim American on the executive committee. You know they did that. Imagine if Trump did that, what the frick they would be saying right now. They got rid of all the progressives on the Rules Committee. You know that. So who are you kidding? So you're just going to keep saying that forever? Hey, we have to get better. They're getting worse. Yeah, but we have to get better, and you don't do anything about it? Call a press conference and say Tom Perez has to go. But you're not going to do that, Keith. He has more to say. He says, Democrats will retake power if people truly believe we are a party that values every voice and every American. And that can happen only if our core supporters feel like our nominating process is on the level and that their concerns are being taken seriously. You know they're not, and you know they're not going to be, and you know that Tom Perez and the rest of the corporate Democrats are doing everything in their power to make sure the next one is rigged too. So I don't understand what Keith Ellison's doing here. This is all just flapping your gums like you've been doing since you took that bullshit deputy chair position and then you said, let's take corporate money. Here's the last part, and then we'll throw it to Sam. Donna Brazil's account cannot simply be dismissed. Really? Well, they are. We must heed the call for our party to enact real reforms that ensure. And what are you doing to make sure your party does that, Keith? Besides putting out statements, toothless statements. What are you doing to make sure this happens? I really want to know. We must heed our call for our party to enact real reforms that ensure fair, open, and impartial nominating process in the elections to come. I'm committed to working with Chairman Perez. Why would you work with that motherfucker? Why wouldn't you be committed to ousting that corrupt motherfucker? I'm committed to working with a guy who's committed to fucking over progressives at every turn. I'm committed to working with that guy. Fuck working with that guy. I'm committed to working with Chairman Perez to make the DNC more transparent and accountable to the American people, whether that's by ensuring that debates are scheduled far ahead of time or by guarantee. They just fucked over the Rules Committee. How are you going to do that, Keith? Blah, 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 blah. Additionally, when the DNC Unity Commission presents its recommendations on reforming our party, we must listen and act. If we do, Democrats can move forward and retake power at every level of government. Sam, do you think that he's sincere when he says this thing?
No, and I can't believe it. And I don't know why Bernie doesn't call this out. I mean, something happened at that convention.
You see the mark on his face?
Yeah, something happened. Something was called out because, he took the house. He took the cash and prizes. I don't know. I just think Tom Perez is in the game, in this to throw the game. The Republicans should never win another presidency again. This country is too progressive. I know there's certain parts that are red, but I do stand up all over the country. Most people want to just, hey, dude, just leave me alone. You do your thing. I don't hate you. You just do. Yeah, you're gonna have these crazy people that are gonna flare up on the internet, and everyone goes nuts. You remember when we thought they were Nazis under everybody's bed? Oh, we're gonna go crazy. But I mean, a Republican should never win the presidency again. But what's going on with this Tom Perez is basically the Republican Party is going to be the Harlem Globetrotters, and we're going to be the Washington Generals, and we're purposely throwing the fight. We are purposely losing this fight.
And the Democrats are paid to lose, right?
Yes.
So if you want to rig a boxing match, you don't pay the winner. You pay the loser. And the
100%, man.
And the Democrats are being paid handsomely to lose. And that's why, if you understand what was going on, why the DNC was in such bad financial trouble, it's because they kept paying their consultants that whole time, which is just graft. And they weren't supposed to. They're paying Barack Obama's consultants, their old consultants. They were spending $120 million more a year than they needed to. You tell me. All right. So if they were spending $2 million more a month than they needed, every year that's $24 million. Over 5 years, that's over $100 million that they were spending extra than they should have. So that's where the DNC is supposed to have an extra $100 million. They don't have it. Okay, so there is that's Keith Ellison's really disappointing. Again, he's just saying the same things. Yeah, we all know what we need to do. I need Keith to tell me what his plan is to make sure that we do that stuff. Because right now, we couldn't even get you to be the chair of the DNC. And we know that the base wanted you and not Tom Perez. Right now, we can't even get progressives on the Rules Committee. Right now, we can't even get progressives like James Zogby to be on the Executive Committee. So what the F are you talking about, Keith? There's less power right now than there ever has been for progressives inside the DNC. You think they're going to get rid of super delegates? You think they're going to make primaries more accessible? Do you think they're going to have same-day voter registration? Do you think the budget's going to be transparent? Because if the budget was transparent, we would have known that the Hillary Clinton campaign was stealing all the fucking money. We would have already known that. That's why it's not transparent, and Tom Perez is going to keep it not transparent. That's who Tom Perez is, and Keith is committed to working with that motherfucker. How about you commit to overthrowing that motherfucker? How about you commit to having a revolution inside the Democratic Party and saving this fucking country? Please make sure you subscribe to the show. When you subscribe, click the bell next to it, because YouTube is trying to make it hard for people to see videos like this. You know it and I know it. And if you can help support the show by becoming a patron or a premium through our PayPal or buying a t-shirt, mug, or whatever to help support the show, God bless you. We'll see you November 6th in Burbank, California for the next live Jimmy Dore Show. The next live Jimmy Dore Show is November 6th in Burbank, California, and November 12th in Portland, Oregon. Link for tickets right there.